All right. So, hey guys, I'm Bren, the host here on another Garden Chat Live, and I'm really excited. I have John here from Let Us Evolve. How are you, John?
Doing good, Bryn. Thanks for having me.
Very cool. Yeah, it's Saturday. I'm ready to get out in the garden. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've been gardening a little bit, with the vertical planter. So
That's right.
yeah.
Now, okay, so I'm up in Ohio. It's pretty cold up here. Um, but actually unseasonably warm, but it's still cold because you're down in Florida,
I'm in
right?
Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas. Better yet. Oh my gosh. Very cool. So you guys can pretty much grow year round down there, right?
I mean, the last winter and this winter has been pretty cold. We've had quite a
Hmm.
few nights in the 20s here. Last year, got in the teens several nights,
Okay.
and we actually had snow on the ground for like 6 days. And we had
Oh
like 10
wow.
here. So
That's crazy.
something we
That's
didn't think we'd
crazy.
ever have.
Right, right. So
So
here we go. I'm showing up. I shared a link. If you're live with us in the chat room, you can visit John's Kickstart program at that link there, kickstart.com. And then I assume if you put up in this search bar there on Kickstart, Let Us Evolve, your
okay.
project should come up, right?
Oh yeah, I see now. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting used to the
Okay.
platform.
But that's okay. And then to throw everything else off, I'm also recording it, or well, it is. So hopefully we'll have a good YouTube or a
Yeah,
podcast. Or hopefully not, and that's cool.
definitely.
Super fun. So there's your container there. That is pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
Where did you make that?
Did I make it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's the evolution of about 5 years worth of work. In the earlier days, they were not near that pretty at all. So they've
Okay.
definitely come a very long way. And actually, on the Kickstarter page, there's a picture at the very bottom, and even on the video, it shows the very early models. They were made out of blue barrels, like food grade 55-gallon drums.
Okay. Out of what? Food barrels?
Uh, the like oil drums, but they're plastic. They're food grade.
Oh, yeah,
The blue ones,
yeah. Very
like rain
cool.
barrels. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
very
they've
cool.
come a very long way.
Yeah. So have you been gardening a long time or?
Believe it or not, I didn't eat fruits or vegetables before this came about. And so I went my whole life without eating fruits or vegetables. And then I got really sick. And then I basically became a vegan for like a year and a
Mhm.
half.
Okay, sure. No, that's
So I
probably
went from no fruits and vegetables to nothing but fruits and vegetables.
very cool. That's awesome. Um, and you feel good.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. Still a couple of things I'm dealing with, but yeah, I'm healed way better than I was.
No, seriously, I think it makes a big difference, especially when you can grow your own food and you kind of know where it
Yeah,
comes from and everything, right? That helps a lot.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's what the mission was that I couldn't get the quality of food that I could produce at home at the store. And I lived in an apartment in the middle of the city with concrete on all sides, so I had no access to soil. So I had to figure out a way to grow food in my apartment.
that's very
So
cool. Let's see. In the picture there, the little slideshow I got going on, you
Mhm.
can see the container. I should have grabbed the image with the measurements. About how big is that box there down on the bottom of the?
Okay, the
Yeah.
bottom base is it's 50 gallons and it's insulated like an ice chest, and it's right at 2 feet 2 feet deep by 3 feet wide. So it's a 2 foot by 3 foot.
Okay.
And to put that in perspective, like in a home, it comes out from the wall about as far as a standard cabinet does, or
Okay.
countertop.
Mhm.
That's how we created it that way. So it's a common measurement.
Okay. I've got a picture there
And
that
then
shows a little bit more because there you are, kind of opening the bottom there, right?
yeah, for some reason the slideshow's not playing on my end, so I don't
Oh, okay.
know.
Okay.
It says 400.
Oh, great. Imagine.
So you'll have to tell me what's there, but I mean I'm pretty aware of all the pictures.
Okay, so I've got the one when you're looking in the nice little the bottom of the unit.
Okay. And real quick, the other dimension, the height of the system is right at 5 feet tall, with the 4 boxes on top of the aquarium. So just putting that out there.
Okay, no, that's great.
Okay, so you're asking about the one where I'm looking in the aquarium?
Yes, I see here. I've got another picture. I'm showing a picture. You have little goldfish in the bottom of your. So what do you call this unit? Is it called Let Us Evolve? Is that
the system itself is a Let Us Evolve garden system. And when you use fish in this type of system, we call that aquaponics.
Okay.
Which aquaponics is just a hydroponic system with fish involved, basically. There's more intricacies, to that, but essentially, to make it simple, that's what it is. And hydroponics is growing plants without soil. So.
Okay, very cool.
I'm sure you're familiar with this, but, yeah.
Oh, that's great. We have someone's in the chat room with us here, and she's pretty excited. She wants one of these. She's excited about learning how to grow your own food, and that's so. With your venture here, I mean, you primarily use you grow vegetables in there, correct?
Yeah, fruits, veggies, and herbs. You can grow a whole wide variety of things. We've grown in the extremes. We've actually grown watermelons out the side of one of them.
Cool.
And we've even grown corn in one of our test systems.
Oh,
so there was corn that came out. It actually formed cobs, and it was sticking out at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, that's cool. Did you get a picture of that?
There should be one somewhere.
Okay, that's okay. We can.
I'm trying to think. It's on the Kickstarter. I don't think it is.
I don't remember.
It might be in the video. Yeah, there's actually a clip in the video. You can see it when it's smaller. The plants are probably about 2 feet tall, and you can see the little silks coming off the top.
That's very cool. Check that out.
Sticking out the side of the blue barrel. Actually.
Okay, it's very cool. So if you're joining us live right now, I'm speaking with John. He's the creator, and he's got this Kickstarter program going for this really cool product that basically you can grow anytime, anywhere for the most part. I mean, when you say, you just,
exactly.
However, you can't take something like this and just sit it down in a room without light.
Sure.
It's not going to grow. So,
yeah,
but
exactly.
Where do you find, so you're down in Texas, so you could pretty much put this anywhere for the most part. I mean, I see you've got a lot of leafy greens in there. And so in Texas, it's going to get a little hot. So maybe in the, hot spring, you're going to want to protect that a little bit from some of that hot sun, right?
Sure. Well, and what's really cool about our system too, is what we've learned is you can actually grow cold weather crops in the warm weather as long as the roots are cold.
Oh.
And it's kind of an interesting scenario. And we're kind of finding the same thing in the wintertime, which we didn't think we'd be able to test, that as long as the roots are insulated and they have warmer water running over them, they seem to fare better.
Okay.
We haven't had any frost damage or anything on our plants without covering them, and it's been in the 20s at night.
It's very cool.
We've had absolutely no ice, but and of course, when we shot the video and we took these pictures, it was during the wintertime. So that was the crops that we had in there.
Very cool. So I'm going to pull another photo up. I'll explain what it is when I do that. So basically what I have here, it looks like it's the 3 shelf units. And they look like they may have some like rock or something down in that container.
Oh, is it the one on the ground?
Yes.
And it says expand your garden?
Easily expand your garden, yes. What's that?
Exactly. We the product we use is called Grow Stones. And what it is actually a recycled product out of New Mexico. They go in the landfill and they get glass, and they recycle that glass, and they puff it up and make these little porous rocks out of it. And these rocks are super lightweight, and they retain water, and they actually pull oxygen through them as the water goes down through them, so it oxygenates the roots constantly, which helps activate nutrients and all kinds of other things. But it's a really cool product. So there's no soil in the system when you do it that way.
Okay. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. Okay, I can see it now. It's popping
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Finally.
So what have you? What's the best results you've had? I mean, are maybe growing the leafy greens?
Everything. Actually, since I was new to eating vegetables when I started doing all this stuff, and and plants in general. Um, all the test systems, we always had tomatoes, we had peppers, we had strawberries, we had herbs of some kind,
Mhm.
you know, and that was generally what we grew more than anything were peppers and tomatoes and strawberries.
Okay.
But believe it or not, it's called Lettuce Evolve, but we've grown less lettuce than anything probably. You know?
Well,
And it's
lettuce is a good place to start. It's easy to grow,
for
and there's
sure,
some
for sure.
great varieties.
Yeah, exactly. And in this system, I mean, the one you're showing pictures of, there's a lot of lettuces, you know, different types of lettuce, and we've got rosemary, thyme, cilantro. I'm trying to see. I'm actually looking at the
Yeah.
pictures here.
Oh, I
There's some
switched it
mustard greens
over.
in there.
I moved it
Yeah,
to the choose how you grow. I think it's kind of neat how you don't have to leave the containers down. You know, it separates the whole unit, kind of comes apart. Is that correct?
sure. And we made it that way too, so that either A, if you couldn't afford the full system, or B, if you didn't want to mess with the full
Mm-hmm.
system, you could just purchase one of the top box and start growing and have a vertical garden on your patio or in your windowsill, you know.
That's
So to
cool.
make it really, and for Kickstarter, it allows our backers to back our project for not a lot of money if they want to support us, and they get a piece of the project. So
Oh, that's very cool.
that's why
Yeah, I'll share that
and
link
the
again.
for sure. Well, thank you. The top stack too with the four boxes,
Mm-hmm.
that whole unit is sold separately as well, and we have an add-on system, which means that whole top four boxes will come together with a collection tray, and then you can add it onto an existing hydroponic or aquaponic
Okay.
system and turn your existing system into a vertical garden.
Oh, that's very cool.
So it's pretty versatile.
Very cool.
Tried to cater to everybody.
So, what, like, you've obviously sold some of these products to people, right?
Yeah.
Where do people have these growing? Is there any like unusual location that you were surprised people are growing in, or
Well, we have one in Australia right now in Melbourne.
very
Um,
cool?
and but as far as unusual, I mean, our Texas weather has been very unusual. Like we didn't we insulated the tank so that it would protect against the
Mm-hmm.
heat because we're in Texas and we don't want the fish to cook during the summertime,
Sure,
you know, and to keep the water
that
cool,
would be
which
bad.
is a problem with hydroponic.
Unless you
Yeah,
have
exactly.
tilapia in there, they're kind of tasty.
What's that?
I said unless you have tilapia in
What'd
there,
you say?
they're tasty.
Yeah. Um, I think the signal's cutting out a little
Uh-oh,
bit.
that might be on my end.
Yeah, maybe mine too. I don't
Okay.
know. We're both having trouble.
It's live.
Yeah. But so when we insulated, like I said, initially it was for the heat, and we didn't expect to be able to test it against the cold. And so last year when we got that 10 inches of snow and there was snow on the ground for 6 days, there was no ice in the system. The fish were fine. The plants were fine. You know, I mean, it was pretty resilient how it performed. So I guess our own climate has been the most extreme that we weren't expecting to test it, you know.
Sure.
And we grew leafy greens late into the summer this year because of the insulation and whatnot. So having the cool water run on the roots, it was something we weren't expecting to be able to do.
That's pretty cool. So if you, I don't know, a lot of people are in flowers as well. Some flowers are edible. You could pretty much grow anything in these, couldn't you? I mean, have you grown any flowers in there?
Some marigolds, and then we put some pansies in one, and then I think we planted
Oh,
borers
very
one
cool.
time. Of course, you know.
That's cool. That's a neat plant.
Yeah, yeah, I really like the flowers on it. So. And I actually take borage oil as a supplement.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it's kind of one of those things. Yeah.
So this is cool. We have quite a few people who are watching us live. Thank you for joining in with us today. I would encourage you to click over to Twitter at Lettuce Evolve and follow John over there. I think, are you the one primarily tweeting there, or?
We have someone in California that helps us
Awesome.
with that. I primarily run the Instagram, and Facebook and stuff like that. But
very cool. Well, this is fun. So if people click over to Kickstarter and they put in the top search bar, or you can use the link that I shared here live, go to Let Us Evolve. How does this work? How does the Kickstarter work? Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Sure. Kickstarter is a really cool platform that allows new products to come into the market, and basically they call it crowdfunding or crowdsourcing. And essentially, what that means, if you need $100,000, instead of going to one person to get $100,000, you can get $100 from 1,000 people.
That's cool.
And it allows people to get involved, your immediate supporters to get involved. And over the years, it's become more of like instead of a donation-based platform to a pre-sale platform, to where you can actually go ahead and pre-sell all your orders without going to market. So then from that mass money that you gather, you can then go to market and do your manufacturing from. So it's really changed the game in entrepreneurship and small business and things like that, and bringing new products to market.
That's very cool.
So essentially, to make it simple, you can pre-order our products right now at a very discounted rate because it is a pre-order, and you are helping us make it happen, and then you help us bring it to everybody at that price. So
that's very cool.
It's a really neat product.
That's a great way, especially for, I love seeing gardening products, things like this that make it a lot easier for people to grow what they want to grow, especially grow food that you want to grow. It definitely, and you could testify to this, nothing tastes better than to harvest your own herbs and lettuce or whatever, and it just tastes so much better, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. There's some things you just can't compare, like, the store is good, but like, especially aquaponic produce, it's a very unique thing to find, which is what we're growing,
Right. Yeah, speaking of the aquaponics, that's pretty much a technology you're using in this, correct?
Yeah, our system can actually be used three ways. You can use it aquaponically, which is where you have the fish. You can use it hydroponically, which is where you don't have the fish, or you can use it with soil. So you kind of just choose your learning curve, or how difficult you want it to be, or how easy you want it to be, or how involved. And the other two aren't really more difficult, but some people, they don't want to take care of fish. They don't want to feed fish, or the hydroponics.
Sure.
So
I just pulled up the picture of, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the self-watering. Can you explain that a little bit? First of all, we've got the rocks. It's down in the actual box itself. I'm not quite sure what you do there. The roots are gonna grow in the rocks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that like a pumice or something, maybe?
Well, that's the stone I was telling you about earlier. It's a recycled glass from the landfill. It's super lightweight, and it's one of the reasons why we choose it, because shipping it internationally, you want something light so it doesn't cost them a lot of money, or us a lot of money. But these rocks are real porous. They pull air through. They oxygenate the roots. And the self-watering aspect actually comes from, there's a pump down in the bottom in the tank, and it pumps the water up to the top, and it just is on a constant trickle to where it constantly waters itself 24/7. You don't have to worry about remembering to water your plant.
So is that just an option? Because obviously if you put this product, you're going to have it near a plug to plug it in so it trickles, right?
Yes.
But if you wanted to put somewhere where you didn't have electricity, because you still, obviously you wouldn't have the self-watering so much, right?
Well, it would, essentially that's what the aquarium's for. So if you were to purchase it without the aquarium, you would water it. And if you did that, then you wouldn't necessarily use the stones, because you would need soil to get the nutrients, because all the nutrients is coming from the fish waste, from the fish poop.
Very cool.
So, and that's, we allow that. It's possible to do that, to where you could just purchase the individual boxes and put dirt inside of them, or compost and just start growing. So
that is very, very cool. I like that. I like all different the ways you feature on your Kickstarter. You can grow, you can do it just the individual box. You can make like a shelving unit, almost hooking the boxes together on a wall, right? Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yep. all the boxes stack into each other, or so you can choose to stack them or take them apart and mount them on separate
Okay,
walls.
that's very cool. Let's see. I think how exciting. I mean, it's
I I'm fascinated by it, and it's not because we created it, but it's just nature is awesome.
yeah, and that nothing beats that fish poop, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know,
Very cool. So
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
The Native American.
So is there anything else you'd like to share before we go ahead and sign off or
Yeah, just that we're on Kickstarter right now, and our normal price is going to be around $549 for the full kit, and right now it's on special for $299.
wow, it's a good deal.
Um, and that it's just that's basically we can't even produce them
Yeah.
for that price like in house. I mean it's just a really really good deal. And we're doing that as a thank you for everybody to get it out there, and we've had orders from all over the world. People constantly messaging us, and we have distributors on 6 continents that we're working with, and we're probably going to India here in the
Very
next
cool.
month. Do some rooftop gardens and corporate buildings out
That's
there.
cool.
And we'll be stopping in Thailand as well, in Bangkok, and um, we're really excited about it. So just yeah, the more involvement we can get, the more exposure, and show everybody that we're out here because everybody seems to
Oh
love
yeah,
what we're doing.
totally. Totally.
That's good.
So, obviously, we can find you on Kickstarter.com, but let us evolve up in the search. And so,
Yeah.
all this cool stuff you're doing, I hope somebody's sharing it on Instagram or your Facebook, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Even Adrian Grenier from the show Entourage and the movie Entourage, he got behind us and he posted it on his Instagram,
That's cool.
and it's pretty neat because I mean we have a decent following on Instagram. We have like over 31,000 followers,
It's great.
but he's got like almost over half a
yeah,
million.
of course, right?
So it got like I don't know, like over 3,000 likes
That's
on
cool.
it. And, people. So
That's
really
very cool.
Yeah, it's been exciting. So just the more support, the merrier.
Definitely. Well, it sounds like you're off to a great start. Thank you so much for getting on here with me.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we've been
I
trying.
know.
Both of us.
It'll be fun to follow you along the way. And thanks again for joining me on this Garden Chat Live, John.
Absolutely. Thank you. And appreciate you dealing